Welcome back. A number of economic indicators in the real sector showed improvement towards the end of the year. However, observers consider those indicators have the potential to reverse because the handling of the COVID-19 pandemic has not shown significant results.
A number of economic indicators in both the real and financial sectors showed improvement towards the end of the year. However, a number of groups consider this indicator prone to reversing because the handling of the COVID-19 pandemic has not shown significant results. In the real sector, the domestic manufacturing industry in November 2020 started to grow again. IHS Markit released the Purchasing Managers Index or PMI for Indonesian manufacturing of 50.6, an increase from the position in October 2020 of 47.8. This was triggered by an increase in manufacturing production towards the end of the year. A reading above 50 indicates manufacturing is on an expansion path. Conversely, if the PMI number is below 50, then there is a contraction. The upstream activity is in line with the increasing demand for goods in the downstream sector. This is reflected in the Consumer Price Index released by the Central Statistics Agency, which continued the inflation trend of 0.28% in November 2020. From all sources, for IDX Channel.
Indonesia's manufacturing sector is starting to experience improvement, but is it a positive signal to the national economy recovery? And is it only Indonesia that has recorded improvement in terms of PMI? Let's directly check the PMI data for several Asian countries in the first graphic. This is the PMI Manufacturer Asia 2020, Taiwan 56.9, India 56.3, China 54.9, South Korea 52.9, Indonesia 50.6, and Thailand 50.4. And one of the main drivers of the ASEAN or Asian economy that has shown improvement in China or is China, whereas the of November 2020, China's export and manufacturing performance is increasingly showing a positive rate. The National Bureau of Statistics of China reported that manufacturing index was at an expansionary level of 52.1 in November, strengthening from October. This achievement also shows the industry's fastest acceleration since September 2017. And of course, an improvement in China is expected to deliver positive effects to the other countries, including Indonesia, which also showed expansionary level of PMI index in November. So how is the journey of the Indonesia's PMI index throughout 2020? Let's see the next graphic. This is Indonesia's manufacturing PMI from January to November. In November, the PMI index of Indonesia is on the level of 50.6. The PMI highest level was recorded in February. The PMI level was on the level of 51.9, and then the lowest was recorded in April in the level of 27.5. And with this position, the median of Indonesia's manufacturing index became 49.2, or the strongest achievement since the third quarter of 2019. This was triggered by an increase in factory production towards the end of the year. The upstream activity is in line with the increasing demand for goods in the downstream sector, which is reflected in November inflation of 0.28%. Meanwhile, the Indonesian Chamber of Commerce, or Kadin, considers that the positive performance of the PMI is likely to be difficult to maintain until the end of 2020. Moreover, the government has decided to reduce the allowance for joint leave at the end of the year so that consumption is not expected to increase significantly in December. And viewers, regarding positive achievement of manufacturing index, how was Indonesia's manufacturing utilization so far? Let's check the next data on the next graphic. This is Indonesia's manufacturing sector utilization recorded up to September 2020 or per third quarter of 2020. Textile industry, the utilization of the industry as much as 50%. And after that, we have basic chemical, 40.60%, glass, 57 to 57.5%, food and beverage and electronics, the utilization level pretty much the same, from 60 to 70%, cement, and then rubber, plastic, and ceramics, 60%. And the other data, you can see through the screen. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Industry noted that in the period of April to October 2020, the average total utilization was 56.5%, an increase from April to September 2020 period. In addition, the ministry said that the improvement in the number of economic indicators has raised government optimism for the national economic recovery, where the momentum for the recovery in domestic manufacturing performance is on the right track. The minister also ensured to maintain manufacturing PMI in the expansion zone by continuing to run the import substitution program next year. And as manufacturing indicators signaled positive movement, how was Indonesia's manufacturing industry growth? Let's see the next graphic. This is Indonesia's manufacturing industry growth in 2020 so far. It's 0.7%, 2019 3.8%, 2018 4.27%, 2017 4.29%. In 2016, 4.26%, and 2015, 4.33%. We compiled the data from Ministry of Industry. And the latest data shows that the growth of the manufacturing sector in the third quarter of 2020 was 5.25% compared to the previous quarter. And it is hoped that the growth in the manufacturing sector will continue to improve. Meanwhile, regarding the recovery of the manufacturing sector, economists of IndiHome, Andri Satrio, said that the positive achievement of PMI in November was not directly proportional to the sustainability of the domestic industry's performance recovery, where the recovery in manufacturing is expected to occur at least in 2021, provided that the handling of the COVID-19 pandemic runs more optimally. And as some economic indicators showed positive results, hopefully it is a real sign that the national economy has started to recover and rise to its optimum level. And stay tuned on Market Lines because we'll be right back after the break.